Maria.
Hey, and this is Joe.
Oh, Maria and Joe.
There it is, Joe and Maria live.
No,
Or
Maria
semi-live.
and Joe.
Which one's Maria?
It's Maria and Joe, not Joe and
I know I was going to talk to you about that. Well, anyways, we'll talk about that some other time. And that's good advice. That's good advice. Sometimes we don't need to talk about everything publicly. We don't need to talk in front of a camera when we're having a private conversation. We don't need to have a lot of people around us if we're trying to work out details of our business or anything else.
Yep.
But sometimes we have leaders in the world who can't even go to the bathroom without the whole media knowing what's going on. And that's sad. It's hard for anyone to step up into any leadership position because you can't fart in public without a big article written up. Oh my God, he didn't care.
I do fart in the public.
Oh yes, she does. She does. All the time.
You never even hear me fart.
Oh, I can smell it a mile away.
Are you kidding me? I actually fart with a rose smell.
Rose smell. Is this something we want to talk in front of the camera? Your rose smell farts? Oh yes. My goodness.
TMI. See, that's one of the unsolicited
things. And a lot of us do that. Why do we do that? We want to broadcast our whole lives on the air.
The thing is, do you believe everything that we broadcast? Every time you hear something?
I don't believe everything I say sometimes. It depends. We wake up in good mood, bad mood. Sometimes we say things we don't always mean. And we cannot believe everything.
I don't believe whatever you say anyway. So
I know. I get that a lot from you. I just want to talk briefly about our President Donald Trump. Recently, he flew to Singapore to meet with the North Korean president, Kim Jong-il. Or Il, I'm sorry, I don't mean to mispronounce her name. And they signed a lot of documents, had a lot of conversations, but they agreed, at least generally, and written down, to get rid of the nuclear weapons on the Korean Peninsula. As well as North Korea also agreed to look up any missing remains of veterans who fought during the war. He agreed to open that up, the investigation. He agreed to work with South Korea and the rest of the world and kind of bring in peace, or at least more safety to all of us and less uncertainty. At least they all signed the agreement that they're going to do that. And God willing, it's true, and the world will be a safer place. And in the future, we can work with North Korea and South Korea and everyone else in the world. But obviously, regardless of Donald Trump does something good, he released someone from prison recently for something after, I think, 20 years. He's releasing other people and different documents and changing things around. And even brought more jobs to our economy than we've had the last dozen years or so. It never seems to be enough. And it seems like when you're in the public eye, it's never enough. Or what's in it for me? Okay, you got a job, but what about my pay raise? It's never enough because we want more. Now, we think he's doing good things. Most of us think he's doing good things in the world and making us safer. Trying to limit the people coming across the border, trying to make it safer, trying to vet everyone and let less or allow less and less immigrants to come in, at least at one time, and go through a proper vetting process. But we have other leaders in the world who make decisions, our Congress and senators, for instance, the people we elect. And are they taking the advice that you and I give them, or are they just doing their own thing? What do you think about that?
I don't know. We're talking about election. Election just came out yesterday.
Oh,
today.
You had election today in Las Vegas. We had one in California last week. But just generally about leadership. Because we have a lot of people, our mayors or senators, regardless of who recently got elected, I believe they plan to do good things. They plan to have a good name for themselves. But sometimes or often we lose our focus. And we'll get someone to tell us, hey, there's this oil rig over here, and if we help support it, the money might come back to help us out later on, or whatever it is. Or you vote for my bill, and then I'll vote for your bill. And it sounds good on the surface, but are we letting our people down that voted for us?
I don't know, because I don't want to talk politics.
I'm not just talking leadership. Try to talk leadership.
Oh, the leadership.
Leadership, because we're talking about good advice and bad advice.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone told Kim Jong-il some good advice, I believe, say, hey, you need to put down your nuclear weapons, agree with Trump and the rest of the world, and you'll be much safer and you'll be able to sleep at night. So, provided someone gave him that advice and he took
Oh,
it.
that's what he told Donald Trump or the world that.
Someone told the North Korean president.
That's what they said on the news.
No, I'm just saying someone
Okay.
someone gave him advice.
It's your opinion.
Yeah, someone gave him advice.
Okay, it's your opinion.
Someone gave. Someone always
I
gives.
thought you know that. I thought it's a fact.
Well, it might have been Dennis Rodman. Supposedly he was over there in Singapore working things behind the scenes. But the bottom line is somebody whispers in our ear all the time, and do we take that advice or do we do our own research? Because sometimes we just listen to the media and assume we know what the people want. We assume we know we're doing the right thing.
As a leader, I'm not actually taking sides. As a leader, on my opinion, only don't quote me on this, is I believe that he thought that nobody, I don't think so that he listened. Probably somebody gave him advice, but I don't think that he listened into anybody's advice. I think he did that in the good of his heart. Probably somebody somebody wake him up. I don't know, but it's probably being a leader is he made that decision according to the good of a lot of people. That's what I would say. I don't think it's an advice.
Well, that's a hard one. The Kim family, they've been the dictators for, I don't know, 100 years or so. And during that time, well, not quite 100 years, but their goal was to bring the two Korean countries together. That was their whole goal. Mm-hmm. And that Kim putting down his weapons like this, he's agreed to two separate countries, at least for now, and everybody feels safe. So he's not trying to start a war all the time.
Yeah. So I think if I'm, I probably wrong or not, but I would say I have a strong feeling that he actually world now. He probably think like, what is the best actually avenue to take.
I hope that's true. Hope whatever happened, I hope he's sincere and he follows through with that. And someone doesn't put bad advice in his ear and screw up everything. But hopefully it's true. Yeah. We do change our hearts sometimes, but when you make a decision and later on change it, that's hard because sometimes you're eating humble pie, even if you're right. No one wants to be wrong.
I hope it's not gonna be changed. I think because like what I was saying is he did it on his own initiative, not anybody telling him anything. So meaning because this is what happened if I am right that actually he did it on his initiative, he's not gonna ever change his mind. But if you are right that somebody give him advice, then he probably gonna change his mind. Does that make sense? Yeah,
no.
Because his initiative. So I am actually praying and hopeful that this is actually on his own initiative, which is I strongly believe it's his own.
Well, that's always better if you believe deep down inside. It's a better way to go. That's always the key.
And you know what, sir? If you are listening and if ever this actually video goes to you, is you know what? I actually salute you on that. Good job.
It's sad. He's done a lot of bad things in the past, so we can't forget it. But I don't want to mock him when he's doing something good now. We can never forget the past of any of our leaders or even ourselves, but hopefully we become better through good advice, recommendations, solutions on our own where we can leave the past behind us. Sometimes you can if you're murdering your own people or killing or destroying the natural resources.
We are not the judge, it's God's judge. So we have to forget of the bad things that actually he did in the past because we are not the judge. We are not the judge. It's only God who can actually judge him on that. So what I would say is I actually thank for what you actually initiated with our President Trump. So I would, whatever you did in the past it's only God.
That's true.
God's
We're all
judgment.
going to be judged one day. So,
Yes.
moving right along, we still have to pray for our leaders. Some we may think are doing stupid decisions. Some we may think are the greatest since sliced bread. But regardless, we have to pray they make the right decisions and use God's advice and the wisdom and grow and learn. And hopefully they're all doing well. But they need our help. No leader, no mayor, no anyone leading any corporation can do it on their own. They all need our help. So let's continue to pray.
Of course. Yes,
Alright.
of course. But you know what?
Yeah.
This is a really good episode talking about advices.
Sure.
And we actually bring out this episode because of the good advices that actually I just seen something that actually distract me, but I'm not distracted now. I'm focused, and I was gonna talk about it, but I'm not gonna point it out.
Okay.
Yeah, and anyways, about the advices, we actually came up into this one because of the advices that we receive from, from people that we love.
Absolutely. Our friends and family give us advices all the time. And some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's unsolicited, like we talked about earlier.
Or somebody, or something, constructive criticism criticism.
Sometimes it's gossip. They're gossiping about someone else, and they're thinking,
I
but
love
gossip is giving you good advice.
Yeah,
Don't be like your sister Susie. She always does this. Is that really good advice, or is that gossip?
that's gossip.
Yeah. So sometimes we think we're giving advice, and it's not really. It's really not.
You know,
coming that way.
what I would say is when you're giving advice, good or bad, unsolicited or not, make sure you think it over and over again before you say it. So because even though how good the advice that you're giving is probably bad on the other person, or unsolicited advice that probably it affect this other person. So make sure you think about it. Is it actually the good of this person and for me? Because like what I was talking about earlier, the advice that I gave to this husband and wife, it bite me in the ass, but I already know that it's gonna happen. See, I already project the future, what's gonna happen after my advice. So I did it in purpose, and I am not actually I don't regret it. Let me put it that way. However, it could have actually relayed in a better way so that I didn't burn bridges.
Sure, that's a good point. Anytime we say anything to someone, we need to be ready for our words. Our words can hurt.
Yep.
And we need to be ready for maybe a repercussion or someone attacking us back. Even if we mean to attack them or not, we're so defensive all the time in our communication. We don't even want to hear the message. Once they say, you never, and we're just going to be defensive right away. So let's be careful in the way we talk to one another. It should be kind.
Yeah.
It should be stirred, confident, but kind.
When people are pointing fingers at you, point a finger backwards by saying, what can we do better?
So you're saying you point one finger out, 3 go to you, or 4 go to you?
Yeah.
Well,
what I'm trying to say is, because we're gonna hear a lot of complaints. What you're saying, earlier, that they're pointing fingers on you. You did this, you did that. Well, instead of taking that offensively or defensively, put it in a way like, hey, so what do you want to do? Well, how can we do it?
Have a solution, right?
Have a solution.
Don't
yes.
come with a problem without a solution. Or even if I'm saying, I think you're rotten, you used to come back with me and say, I hear you say you think I'm rotten. What do you mean by that? Oh, I didn't mean you're rotten. You're like this. So ask for clarification. So
yes, clarification is good.
Don't get offended right away.
Yes, you can ask what do you mean by that? Can you please elaborate? Because sometimes, especially words can be misconstrued all the time.
The time.
So I love to ask questions when they're trying to offend me. They probably think I'm stupid, but I'm not. I'm just trying to actually get into deep what he feels about what he's saying. What is the main point of what they are, what he's trying to actually relate to me.
Sure. So what are you trying to say?
what I'm trying to say is we're gonna be actually ending up this episode, and next week we're gonna be right back in the future.
We'll be back.
Oh, before we go,
Yeah. You'll see me happy birthday. You know, she's a great singer, karaoke champion in these parts of the world, as a matter of fact. I'm waiting for that, her to show her talents to the rest of us.
but anyways, yeah. Last week, I would like to thank Jim Presley,
Jim Presley, yes. He brought in a great team.
JC,
Daryl. We had Steve with
Steve.
his music. This is something. Steve is in his 70s, and he was writing jingles and music and writing things for most of his life.
He wrote a song
For the Golden Knights here, he got a song out for them, and that's going to be aired here real shortly since they're doing so well. But the point is, he didn't do a lot with his music most of his life. Not till the last 4 or 5 years when he met someone he collaborated with. And things are going really good right now. Talk about James.
Yeah, well,
because
Mr.
right, you
Presley.
bring people in your life, and it could change your whole outlook. I'm
Yes,
like,
it
oh,
is.
maybe I can do this,
Uh-huh.
or don't let the past dictate your future.
No, don't.
That's good advice right there.
Yeah, that's a good advice. And the good advice too is collaborate with JC and Daryl. That's a good advice too.
There you go. We're meeting more and more people at our shows, and feel free to come join us. So if you have a message you want to share, if you want to start your own show, or maybe make us a meal, we'd appreciate that also.
Oh yeah, I like meals.
We like to eat this little
Remember
Caesar
last
pizza get
week?
old.
Remember last week I showed you what's my breakfast, lunch, and dinner? It's the chocolate Snickers.
I see a big bowl of empty wrappers still on your table over here.
Oh, that's my breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
And I'm glad. Yesterday I had Filipino.
Yes.
Today I have pizza.
There you go.
And then the other day I cooked something.
Wow. There
Yeah,
you
but
go.
but it's still, yeah, it's not as good as when somebody else cooks.
That's true. So try your skills out here. We'd love to have you. Definitely contact us through our social media shows .us, our network, and find out more and more about us and what we can do to
Subscribe on
help
our
you.
YouTube.
Subscribe on our YouTube. Like our Facebook page. Share with the world. And
Yes.
more importantly, let us know what you're learning.
Yes, and also we would like to actually know what do you think our program. Please go and give us a review, and if you have any idea what we want to talk, what you want us to talk about, please send us a message, because you know what, Joe and I actually work like a time machine every single day, and we come up with different subject that we're gonna talk about few minutes before we start the show. That's
Sure.
why we don't have any paper to hold.
And sometimes we're a big hit, and sometimes we fall short. So help us out.
Yes.
Help us out.
Yes, your actually comments is very important to us.
Well, there you have it, folks. We appreciate your viewership as you've been supporting us the last several months and years, and we know you continue to do so. And please share with your friends and family. And like we said, come out, reach out to us, let us know how we can better serve you. Have a great day. This is Maria.
And this is Joe. Do you,
All
like,
right.
do you like my thing?
Oh, whatever. Have fun, guys.
It's
Bye bye.
beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, can you get me a
Okay, well, that's enough of that, dear.